Agama Tantra Teacher Training Day 22. So today we joined the Tantra 2 workshop, which is offered to the general public in Agama. And I've done this workshop before a few times, and it's still really good to hear this information. And again, we talked about models of relationship. So two models are Shiva and Shakti. Shiva being the masculine consciousness, presence, eternity, void, stability, centeredness, and so on, and Shakti being energy, manifestations, emotions, matter, everything to do with basically with the physical world. You can say that is Shakti, and a man and a woman interacting as Shiva and Shakti. Another thing is the anima and animus, so the inner man and the inner woman, and the idea is that we are attracted to a person who is similar to our inner man or inner woman. So in my case, I'm always attracted to strong women, very sexual women. Sometimes they look slutty or they act a bit slutty, and for me slut is a positive word, is like a compliment, when a woman is really able to connect to and express her sexuality in this way. So these women are usually quite emotional, so they're kind of strong but also very emotional. Another thing that we discussed is the idea of male multiple orgasms. And in Agama, generally in the workshops, there's a lot of focus on female orgasm, and everything is about different kinds of orgasms and so on. And there's not so much discussion on the male orgasm. And this is something that I've been exploring, experiencing, reading about, learning about for years, and there's so many different experiences that I can say that I had, and other people have even kind of other experiences that I still didn't have. And it's very different than an ejaculatory orgasm. So in ejaculatory orgasm, it can be very pleasurable, but it's like 5, 7, 10, 15 seconds, something like that, and then your level of arousal decreases, your level of presence decreases. In the kind of orgasms that you have when you don't ejaculate for weeks and months at a time, you are able to reach, first of all, the pleasure can continue for a very long time. I was sometimes on a state of pleasure, or you can say a mild orgasmic state, for an hour and a half, where everything, all my body was just having waves of pleasure. On an energetical level, you feel energy moving up your body. You feel kind of like tingling sensations or electricity and so on, which are kind of something between the physical and the energetic level. On the emotional level, sometimes an orgasmic state will not be experienced so much as a pleasure sensation, but more of an emotional, more of like love. The energy would go to the heart, or the level of consciousness would go to the heart, and there would be a feeling of union with the partner. I would look at my partner and I would start crying, and it would just be a moment of wanting to die with each other, wanting to merge into the everything. And sometimes it will be during penetration, and sometimes it will be just during foreplay or love play, or after we make love. We'll just look at each other and we'll be like, oh wow, there's so much love. And it's a very, sometimes it's a very tender kind of love, and sometimes it's a very consuming kind of love. On the higher planes, on the higher levels, there's also mental states of consciousness where there will be maybe not so much pleasure, not so much this experience of love or energy moving and so on, but suddenly the level of consciousness would rise, and I would get into a very, very clear state. So the mind will be nearly empty. Even if there will be thoughts, the thoughts will kind of like come and go away, and it's like a pleasurable by itself to have your mind very focused. If you ever did a meditation retreat, you will know what I'm talking about. And the good thing about tantric sex is that you can get to it after half an hour. It's a bit shorter than spending a week doing that. And moreover than that, there's a spiritual state which is related to this, which is the pure consciousness. So it's not just a state of mind, it's a state of being. It's like the energy goes to a level which is maybe beyond the body and beyond the mind, and you just have glimpses of cosmic consciousness, of enlightenment. I had very few experiences like that, but the ones that I had were more important than any pleasurable state I've ever had. So if I had to choose, I would choose the states of transcendence that I had. So that's just a few of my experiences about male multiple orgasms and orgasmic states, and I'll be happy to hear about yours. If you like what you're seeing here, subscribe to the channel. See you soon.